quiet power of solitude, why few friends can mean inner strength. Welcome to Practical Philosophy, the channel where we explore life's deeper questions, unravel the complexities of human psychology, and uncover profound insights that can transform the way you think and live. Today, we delve into a topic that challenges conventional wisdom, the quiet power of solitude, and why having fewer friends, or even no friends, can be a source of immense inner strength. In a world that equates popularity with success, this perspective might feel counterintuitive. But stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll see how solitude, authenticity, and carefully chosen connections can reshape your life, giving you a sense of peace and confidence that no crowd can offer. Society loves to weave a dazzling tale of success, a narrative painted in the glow of endless social gatherings, sparkling laughter, and the ceaseless hum of approval from others. From the moment we take our first steps into the world, it whispers a seductive promise that admiration lies in numbers, that the larger the crowd, the louder the applause, the greater your worth. But pause for a moment and really ask yourself, who is truly the most secure person in the room? Is it the man surrounded by an adoring audience, basking in fleeting attention? Or is it the man who stands quietly in the corner, unshaken, radiating a strength drawn from within? The latter may not fit the conventional mold of success, but perhaps he embodies something far more profound, a mastery of self that needs no validation. Picture this. You're scrolling through social media, watching people showcase their seemingly perfect lives, smiling selfies with large groups of friends, captions that scream camaraderie, and endless streams of likes and comments. On the surface, it's dazzling. But does it make you pause and wonder, am I missing something? It's a common feeling. But here's a truth that often goes unspoken, that curated perfection is nothing more than a mirage. Behind the hashtags of togetherness and the flawless filters lies a fragile reality. Many of these connections lack depth, meaning, and longevity. Real strength doesn't come from collecting numbers. It's not about the volume of interactions but the depth of those few that truly matter. In fact, the most powerful connection you can ever cultivate is the one you have with yourself. Social media, for all its promises of connection, thrives on creating a grand illusion, an endless cycle of comparisons and external markers that leave us chasing shadows. It pulls us into a web of curated perfection, where validation is as fleeting as a passing breeze. But beneath this mirage lies a truth that's often overlooked: strength, real and unshakable, grows in solitude. It's in those quiet moments, away from the chaos and noise, that clarity begins to emerge. Solitude isn't a void, it's a sanctuary, a space where your thoughts can breathe, and where you can reconnect with the essence of who you are. Take a moment to reflect. How many people in your life truly see you, not the polished version you curate for the world, but the unfiltered, raw, and vulnerable you? It's a sobering thought, isn't it? Society sets us on this relentless treadmill, urging us to seek approval at every turn, always striving but never arriving. It's an endless cycle of performing, wearing masks tailored to fit the expectations of others. And in that constant effort, something precious slips away. We drift further from ourselves, losing touch with the authenticity that makes us unique. Each step on this treadmill distances us from the profound understanding that real connection, both with others and with ourselves, is rooted in authenticity, not performance. And so, the question lingers: how much of who you present to the world is truly you? And how much is a role you felt compelled to play? Let me share a story. There was a man. Let's call him Michael. On the surface, Michael had it all. He was the life of every party. His phone buzzed incessantly with messages, and his social media accounts were brimming with likes and comments. But Michael felt empty. One day, he decided to step back. He stopped attending every event, stopped seeking validation online, and spent time alone instead. At first, it was terrifying. The silence was deafening, and the stillness unnerving. But slowly, something shifted. Michael began to discover himself, his true self, away from the noise. He found strength in solitude. A kind of strength that no amount of external validation could provide. Solitude. It's a word that often sends shivers down our spines, conjuring images of desolate landscapes and unbearable silence. We're conditioned to view it as a punishment, a state to be avoided at all costs. But what if we've misunderstood its true essence? What if solitude isn't a curse but a gift, a rare and precious opportunity to reconnect with ourselves? Solitude isn't about being lonely, it's about being present with yourself. It's about peeling back the layers of distraction, facing the fears that linger in the shadows, and uncovering the profound truths you've buried beneath the noise of daily life. In these quiet, introspective moments, you find clarity, a deep understanding of who you are, and a recognition of what truly matters. Far from isolating, solitude can be transformative, offering you the chance to cultivate strength, resilience, and a sense of peace that no external validation can provide. Think about the great minds of history, artists, philosophers, leaders. Many of them discovered their greatest insights not in the midst of crowded gatherings, but in the profound stillness of solitude. Leonardo da Vinci once remarked, "Isolation is the price of greatness," a sentiment echoed through the lives of other visionaries like Nikola Tesla, who worked tirelessly alone, channeling his creativity into innovations that transformed the world. These moments of solitude were not retreats from life, they were deliberate acts of engagement, a connection to ideas, to inner truths, and to something far greater than themselves. It was in these quiet spaces that they confronted their deepest questions, explored their boldest dreams, and forged paths that others would later follow. Solitude was not their escape, it was their crucible of creation, where clarity and brilliance flourished. But why do we fear solitude so much? Perhaps it's because being alone acts as a mirror, reflecting parts of ourselves we've tried so hard to hide. It forces us to confront truths buried deep within, our doubts, insecurities, even unhealed wounds. There's an undeniable discomfort in facing your raw, unfiltered self. And yet, it's in this very discomfort that profound growth emerges. Solitude strips away the noise of the outside world and compels you to listen, really listen, to your inner voice. It's in these quiet, often challenging moments that you start to uncover a strength and resilience you never realized you had. You come to understand that the fears you avoided are not as insurmountable as they seemed, and the insecurities you carried are opportunities for self-compassion and transformation. In solitude, you discover not just who you are, but who you can become. Let me tell you about Emma. Emma was always surrounded by people. She thrived on the energy of constant interaction, loved the hum of conversation, and relished the validation she found in being the center of attention. Yet, beneath the surface of her seemingly vibrant life, she felt an inexplicable void. Deep down, Emma struggled with an unsettling disconnection, a gnawing sense that the noise around her only amplified the silence within. One day, Emma decided to take a leap of faith. She booked a weekend retreat in the mountains, completely alone. No phone, no internet, no one to distract her, just her and the stillness she had long avoided. The first night was unbearable. She felt restless, the absence of sound almost suffocating, and her thoughts seemed louder than ever. But by the second day, something profound began to happen. The silence no longer felt threatening, it became a canvas for her thoughts to flow freely. She started journaling, pouring out her fears, her dreams, and her long-buried emotions. With each word, she peeled back layers of herself she had hidden for years. For the first time, she felt truly seen, not by others, but by herself. That weekend marked a turning point in Emma's life. She returned home transformed, carrying a quiet confidence that no amount of external praise could ever give her. It wasn't just clarity she found, it was a deep understanding of her own worth. A worth rooted not in the validation of others but in the authenticity of knowing and accepting herself. Now, let's delve into the fabric of relationships. We've been conditioned to equate the number of friends we have with our sense of worth, as though popularity holds the key to personal validation. But let me pose a different question. Would you rather be surrounded by 100 acquaintances who skim the surface of who you are? Or would you choose 3 true friends who see you, deeply, unconditionally, for who you really are? It's not about numbers, it's about the depth and authenticity of those bonds. True friendships are rare and precious, built on a foundation of trust, mutual respect, and shared values. They are the kind of connections that weather storms with you, standing firm when life grows unpredictable and tough. These relationships act not as fleeting comforts but as pillars of strength, reminding you of your worth when the world seems intent on making you forget. David's story comes to mind. David had a tight-knit circle of 3 friends. When he lost his job, those 3 were the ones who showed up. No questions asked. They offered not just practical help but also emotional support, reminding him of his worth during a time when he felt most vulnerable. Their care wasn't born out of obligation or societal expectations, it came from a place of genuine connection and shared history. Contrast that with another man, Jason, who had a massive social circle. His phone was constantly buzzing with messages and invitations. Yet when he faced a similar crisis, the support he received felt hollow, like echoes in an empty room. His large network, built on surface-level connections, lacked the depth needed to provide true comfort or stability. It's a stark reminder that depth always outweighs breadth. Genuine relationships act as a safety net, catching us when we fall and lifting us back up when we need it most. While superficial connections fade away when life's challenges emerge. But how do you navigate a world that prizes popularity and constant connection? It starts with self-awareness. This isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation of an authentic life. Take the time to delve into your inner world. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What are my values? What drives me? And what drains me? When you understand your core principles, they become a compass, guiding you through the chaos of societal expectations. Self-awareness also means understanding your boundaries. It's the ability to recognize when to say no, not out of fear or avoidance, but out of respect for your own peace and growth. Saying no can be uncomfortable, especially in a culture that glorifies busyness and constant interaction. But remember, every no to something unaligned is a yes to yourself. It's a declaration that your energy and time are precious, and you'll invest them where they truly matter. And when you stand firm in this self-knowledge, you'll find that the winds of external judgment, no matter how strong, can no longer knock you off course. You'll walk your path with clarity and purpose, no longer swayed by trends or the expectations of others. It's this groundedness that allows you to navigate the noise of the modern world with grace and authenticity. Sophia's story illustrates this beautifully. She was a classic people pleaser, someone who equated saying yes with being liked and accepted. For years, she lived in a state of quiet exhaustion, juggling countless commitments that brought her little joy. Whether it was attending events she didn't enjoy, answering calls from toxic acquaintances, or overextending herself for others. Sophia felt trapped by her own inability to say no. She was so focused on avoiding disappointment in others that she completely overlooked the growing sense of dissatisfaction within herself. One day, Sophia hit a breaking point. She realized that while she was constantly meeting everyone else's needs, her own life felt hollow and unfulfilled. Determined to reclaim her energy, she decided to set boundaries for the first time in her life. At first, it was uncomfortable. Saying no felt foreign and guilt-inducing, as though she was letting people down. But over time, she discovered a surprising freedom in her choices. By declining invitations that drained her and stepping away from one-sided relationships, she created space for the things and people that truly mattered. Gradually, Sophia built a life that reflected her core values and passions. In doing so, she didn't lose connections. Instead, she attracted deeper, more meaningful relationships with people who genuinely respected her boundaries. Her journey wasn't just about setting limits, it was about honoring herself. And in that process, she found a sense of clarity and peace that had eluded her for years. Sophia's story is a testament to the transformative power of prioritizing self-respect and authenticity over the fleeting approval of others. As you embrace solitude and prioritize quality over quantity in your relationships, a profound transformation begins to unfold. You find yourself no longer tethered to the constant need for external approval. The opinions of others, once so influential in shaping your choices, lose their grip. Instead, your decisions become guided by your own desires, values, and convictions. This shift is not merely a detachment, it's a liberation. A reclamation of your inner compass. True inner security isn't just about standing alone, it's about standing grounded in an unshakable understanding of who you are and what you believe. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't waver in the face of criticism or applause, because its roots run deep within you. And here's the best part. When you cultivate this inner strength, you naturally become a source of inspiration for others. Your quiet confidence, unshaken by the need for validation, becomes magnetic. People are drawn to the authenticity you exude, not because you're seeking to impress them, but because you radiate a rare sense of peace and self-assurance. In a world obsessed with appearances and external approval, your unapologetic embrace of your true self stands as a powerful reminder of what's possible. Your example encourages others to pause, to reflect, and to break free from the societal chains that hold them back. Through your journey, they see the beauty in carving their own path, in finding courage within, and in discovering the transformative power of living authentically. So, I challenge you. Embrace solitude, not as a last resort, but as a gateway to uncovering your deepest self. Don't fear the quiet, let it become your ally. A space where your thoughts can roam freely and your spirit can grow unencumbered by external noise. In these moments of stillness, you'll begin to understand your true essence, discovering a reservoir of strength and resilience that's always been within you. Remember, your worth is not defined by the size of your social circle, the applause of a crowd, or the fleeting validation of likes and comments. It's found in the richness of your character, the unwavering strength of your convictions, and the authenticity that colors your relationships. Solitude is not a void, it's where you find the clarity to live a life of purpose and meaning. As we wrap up, think about this: the most secure man isn't the one surrounded by the loudest applause or the largest crowd, he's the one who stands quietly, unshaken and deeply at peace with himself. His strength comes not from external validation but from an unwavering sense of who he is. If this reflection resonated with you, don't let it end here. Take that first step inward, towards a journey of self-discovery that is as transformative as it is liberating. Solitude, authenticity, and inner security are not just abstract ideas, They are principles you can embody, starting today. And if you're ready to go further, join us in our next video where we'll uncover even deeper insights into embracing your truest self and living a life rooted in purpose and clarity. Together, let's continue this journey.